Are you struggling with what type of content to create for your social media post, your ads, your blog, your website? If you are, you need to build a brand strategy. And we're going to cover the first point that you need to focus in on right now. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Smart Marketing. I am your host, Jason Verdelli, and today we're going to talk about how to build a brand strategy starting with your brand purpose. But before we do that, I really just want to cover the most important thing about your brand strategy, which is number one, how to use it. And ultimately, your brand strategy is going to drive your ideas for the type of content that you put out there, whether that's in social media posts, whether that's your ads like Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, maybe your Google ads, the type of content that you have on your landing pages on your website. Ultimately, all of that is going to stem from your brand strategy. And when I say brand strategy, also, this is a document that you need to create. You need to document this, put it into Google Drive, Google Docs, whatever kind of system that you have. But ultimately, you need to document these elements that we're about to cover in this video as well as subsequent videos. So the first part of building that brand strategy is to determine what is your brand purpose. So that's what I'm going to cover today. Your brand purpose is ultimately the why you exist. It's the why behind your brand. And ultimately, it's a statement of belief, hope, and pursuit. And just to give you an idea, some examples, you have Nike, which their brand purpose is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Starbucks, to inspire and nurture the human spirit. Walmart, saving people money so they can live better. And Google, which is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So the brand purpose obviously is the why you exist, right? Here are some key questions, though, to help you develop your brand strategy. So the first one great question is, what do we believe in? Right? So the key thing is your marketing manager, your marketing director, get key players in your company. You got the owner, you have key executives, even getting the employees involved. Getting key people in that room and asking the question, what do we truly believe in? Now, I know that is a very broad statement, a very broad question. It's definitely going to get people thinking. But ultimately, this question and the two other questions I'm going to cover today are going to spark conversations and ideas. And you, as the marketing manager, as the director, your job really is to document that and ultimately guide the discussion that comes out of that question, right? So, but the key thing is to make sure that we ask the question, because again, all we're trying to do here is we're trying to get these brand elements, and starting with brand purpose, we're trying to document this so when we do create content, or if we're trying to improve our content, we're trying to improve our conversions and all these things that we want in our marketing, it has to stem from somewhere. So ultimately, we have to go through this exercise. Another great question to help build brand purpose is, why do we exist? So ultimately, essentially why we exist. Well, this might be because of who you serve, because of some type of person or the community that you're trying to serve. That might stem from more of who you're serving. Why we exist might be more universal. It might be we exist in the case of, say, Google. We exist to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So ultimately, they exist to provide information and make it easier to access. So that's a key question. Again, why do we exist? It's broad enough, though, that you're going to kind of tap into the people the key players in your company, is to tap into kind of what's in their head. And ultimately, again, great exercise to go through. Another key question is, who do we serve? This is also a great thing to think about to put in your brand purpose statement. Who do we serve? So is that the community? Is it a certain type of customer? Is it a certain type of person? Ultimately, that who we serve conversation is going to help you determine, do you need to focus in on, do you exist because we're trying to serve a specific group of people, or is it we serve to exist the broad community or the world? So you'll start thinking when you have maybe a small business, big business, when you ask that particular question, you can get a good idea of exactly the scope of who you're trying, the scope of really your purpose, right? It could be serving the local community. In Google's case, it could be serving the world. So it gets you to really think through that. And then obviously you saw in Google's brand purpose statement, they are serving the world in their case. But in some cases, if you run a law firm or you run an accounting firm, this might be your local community. If you're a local food bank or food pantry, it might be, again, that local community. That might be the focus of your attention. But again, asking that question is going to ultimately help you determine exactly what your brand purpose is. So again, there's 3 questions. What do we believe in? Why do we exist? And who do we serve? So when you get this, document this, put this into a document, share this out with the group after you've documented it. And then from there, you can have a discussion to say, hey, do we believe, is this the statement? Is this our brand purpose? Is this the direction that we want to go? And ultimately, getting this information is going to help you as the marketer to determine exactly the reason why you're going to develop the content that you do. Because it's also going to give you some guidance as to who's your target client, who's your targeted personnel, or targeted maybe client, customer, or what parts of the community, what parts of the world that you want to serve. So, but when you do that, again, it's going to give you that guiding point. It's going to be the kind of North Star to a lot of your content. And your content's going to get better because you're actually going to have a why behind it. People are going to connect with your organization, your content, more because of their, more from emotion than from some sort of rational thinking. So, but the only way to tap into that emotional system is to determine exactly why you exist. And the only way to do that is to actually go through the exercise with your team, your executives, get them into the room, document this, and this is going to be, again, that North Star for the content. You're going to develop better content from this, and it will make, I don't want to say your life easier, but it should definitely help answer some questions in terms of exactly what you need to post out or if you're in a time like we're in right now, maybe how you need to shift your message a little bit. Again, gives you that good solid foundation. So again, 3 questions: what do we believe in? Why do we exist? Who do we serve? Brand purpose, understand it, have it drive your content, have it be the reason why people connect to you, your brand emotionally, and you're going to find better content, better conversions. Ultimately, it's going to serve as a foundation for your organization, your brand for years to come. In subsequent videos here, I'm going to cover the other parts of your brand strategy. But again, this key thing, the first part before anything else, is your brand purpose. So make sure that you go through this exercise first. Check out the next video. We're going to talk about brand mission, which is the second part in the foundation of building a brand strategy. And thanks for watching.